everybody, Dive Bomb is back after a few months away. Last time we were at the top tier where drivers raced around Abu Dhabi, but this time it's the second season of DBF2 as the drivers who are less quicker than the sweat pretty much get to race on a Wednesday evening for the next 9 or 10 weeks. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jess Ball and I'm going to be your commentator throughout the season, and you're going to have to get used to hearing my voice for the next 9 or 10 weeks. I should be around, so that will be good. We got quite a few things to get through before the lobby starts at 10 past, so we got to get going. So we got the calendar. So how it's all going to work each evening is there's 2 races, one 35% race and one 25% race. The 35% race is going to be special because it's going to be the weather is going to be determined with the spinning wheel, which we'll go through in just a moment. But the 25% is just normal dynamic weather, I believe. So there we go. So that's what's going to happen. And for qualifying, we will go through the qualifying format in just a moment as well. So we got Bahrain is going to be round 1, Australia round 2. That's all tonight. Next week we got Imola and Spain. The week after is Canada and Monaco. Good luck to everyone racing Monaco. I'm looking forward to covering Monaco, to be honest. I'm actually going to be here. Happy. And then we got Great Britain and Austria, Italy and Belgium, and then finally Singapore and Abu Dhabi. So quite a short season, but it's going to be entertaining nonetheless. So make sure you stay tuned for these next lot of rounds, basically. And we got our lineups. Here is a lineup of cars that we got at the moment. So we got Jordan and Jack in the Red Bull. In the Mercedes, we got James and Jay. We got Scottish Goat and Dan Price in the Ferrari. Now that's going to be I think one of my picks for the constructors this season. We got Chris and Kai in the McLaren. Tony and Deck in Aston Martin. Darky in the Alpine. I need to try and read this. Fergus, there we go. My OBS screen is small. Don't worry. Fergus Pup and Chris Johnson in the Williams, D-Dash in the RB, and we've got Jacob and Abu Bakar in the Haas. So, I know you'll all be waiting for this, so I'm going to do it now before Jack kills me, because we want to get the lobby started in a decent amount of time. So, here is the wheel then for the qualifying. So, basically how it's going to happen, the minimum amount of wet races we can have, and there's also dry races as well, and qualifying is the same, so which is going to be fun. So we're going to start with qualifying, and this is going to be the weather for qualifying, and it's going to be the first race. It's going to be Bahrain. I think the drivers are going to be dreading that it's raining. I think I'm going to enjoy it, actually, but I don't have to race. So, without further ado, there's Casper in the chat. Hi, Casper. How you doing, my friend? So, without further ado, let's spin the wheel as what the weather's going to be for qualifying. Oh, no. Oh, no. To start off Season 2 of DBF2 is going to be a wet qualifying around Bahrain. Thank goodness I'm not racing. It's going to be for the whole qualifying as well. So, my predicted pole time that I had in my notes, well, we're going to ignore that. So, that's qualifying. Now we got the race wheel. Yes, I've come prepared. So, there we go. And there's Dom in the chat. I think there's Dom in the chat. I think it's you. If it's not you, then hello, whoever's on the TGP account. But the race weather is going to be. I think I'm allowed to spin the race weather now. I think. Yes, I am. Okay, cool. Right, here we go. I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. I'm in charge of the stream. Luckily, the drivers don't have to have a wet affected race because it's light cloud. So there we go. So Jack, if you're listening, it's a wet. So I will get it up. So it's a wet qualifying and it's light cloud in the race, and that's only for Bahrain. So there we go. Let's get the screen back up and let me close the wheels. Then actually, I need to remove the instances, don't I? So there we go. I just need to make sure it's all saved for next week, so I don't end up doing all the the same things again. So now that's going to be interesting with a wet qualifying, because with a wet qualifying, that means the track is designed for dry, which means the drivers are going to struggle. I don't think the drivers have practiced for a wet qualifying session, so I think they're going to be unaware of what could be the worst qualifying. I think we could see a mixed up grid in the short qualifying session that we've got. But the format is going to be interesting then. So, the top 5 in this qualifying session, in the first qualifying session of short qualifying, they will have to start on the tyre that they qualified on. But that's not going to make much of a difference this week because it's wet. So, oh no, does that, I don't even know if it applies, yeah, so if both sessions are dry, which is not. So yeah, so basically, the advantage of having a wet quali dry race, that everyone can start on the tyre that they want. So the qualifying format is not going to come into effect, really. I can't remember if it comes to effect in race 2, but I think it's just race 1. I'm not entirely sure on that one. So we are just loading into the qualifying session. And for those of you that are new to F1 in general, it is an 18-minute short qualifying session, and the fastest driver will get pole position. So there'll be no driver that gets knocked out, basically, and there's no points for pole position. No points for pole position. And I will go through the race points as we get into the end of the qualifying session. So hopefully you all got it and are raring it to go. And I see a lot of you in the chat. We've got 16 drivers today, which is great news. Quite a few reserves because some drivers couldn't make it tonight. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here we go. Welcome to qualifying then. And welcome to a wet qualifying here today. I was not expecting this to start off DBF2 to be a wet qualifying, and that's the way the wheel goes. And Casper was even saying in the chat, wet Bahrain is surprisingly fun. Yeah, qualifying is not too bad because you're on the limits every time as well. So I'm interested to see how the drivers are going to do. So here's some information about the Bahrain Grand Prix. Track that was first opened 2004. Michael Schumacher won the first ever race. It was actually first developed in 1999, developed by Herman Tilke. And it was mainly designed for endurance racing, but it was also designed for Formula 1. And who also remembers during the COVID-19 pandemic, there were 2 Grand Prix, one at the normal layout and then one at the outer layout, which I found to be quite cool. So the trickiest part of the circuit, I would say, is towards turn 10 and 11 because of the heavy braking zone. It's fast, but through 9 and 10, you've got to be so precise on the brakes. It's going to be crazy, and it's just so easy to lock up. 10, 11, and 12 is also very understeery, so we could see that playing an issue for the drivers tonight. Expect drivers to do multiple laps on the set of the intermediate tyres, just to get a feel for it a little bit. So let's see who we have got who's going to start a lap first. It would help if I get the track map. I believe it's one of the Ferraris. So I need to figure out which Ferrari it is. Nope, it's not Scottish Goat. It is Dan P. Wilnut, who, according to Jack Craig, who put the odds in our Discord chat earlier, Jack thinks, that's Jack Bet, thinks that he is going to be the favourite to win the championship. I disagree. No offence, I disagree. I think someone else is going to win the championship, but I will go through my thoughts in just a few moments. So he's going to be the first driver to set a lap around this Bahrain International Circuit, which for quite a few years used to be the first round of the championship in real life. Could be that in 2027. So here we go then. Start, finish straight, 8th gear. You've got to be so much more precise on the braking in the wet. And you're going to be downshifting into 2nd gear. You've got to be as smooth as you can in towards turn 1. Aim for that apex. In towards turn 3 now. It would be DRS, but of course this is a wet qualifying. We're not going to have that. In towards turn 4. Aim for the right-hand side. And then you're going to try and use as much of that curve as you can, but be careful that you don't invalidate. It'll be much easier to invalidate in the wet, of course. Through turns 5, 6, and 7 now. Very precise once more. In second, I usually like to tend to run the car in second gear in that corner for extra rotation, which is what Dan has chosen to do. Turn 9 and 10, one of the corners that I said is going to be difficult, which he coped with surprisingly well. So usually if I would do a lap around it, I would use a bit more of the right hand side, but he doesn't choose that. In towards 11 and 12, I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the rain. It's understeer in the dry, but in the rain it's going to be difficult. 9 towards turn 13. Of course he's purple set to 1 and 2 because he didn't want to set it, but Dan's not purple set to 1 anymore. Scottish Goat is now purple set to 1 with a 32.143. Now it's Chris who is purple set to 1. Now it's Abu. They keep changing. If you're wondering how I'm getting all of these, I've got it on my telemetry software thing as Dan goes fastest right now. Next across the line will be Chris in P2, so he didn't get the fastest first sector. Then we got Abdu. No, it's not Abdu, it's someone else. I need to get rid of some of these overlays so I could see who's which. I think it's one of the Mercedes up next. It's Gamer James, 142.0. We're going to have to keep track on a lot of people's laps because most people will be doing multiple laps. As Fergus Pup goes 5th. Jordan now goes 3rd. Jordan had a very good end to the season last season in DBF1. Some good results. There was quite a lot of races where he was near the top guys as well, especially in the wet. So when it comes to wet races, I think Jordan's going to be very good. Scottish Goat, a driver who I think has improved quite a lot in dive bomb history. He's got multiple podiums now as Abu goes fastest. Multiple podiums. Has yet to get a win. This could be his chance in DBF2 to get his elusive victory, which it's been a long time coming, and hopefully I'll be the one that commentates it as Abdu stays fastest. James in second, Jay across the line in third. What about Abdu's teammate Jahu? Or Jahu? Oh, I can't even pronounce it, I'm sorry. But anyway, he comes across the line. What's it going to be for the Haas driver? It's going to be pole. Yes, it is. Purple in the second and third sector, so at the moment it is a Haas 1-2. I believe Dan might do another run at the moment, so he comes across the line. He improves ever so slightly by a few attempts, but he stays in P6. Next it's Chris. 42.7. So he's going to go on another push lap now, I believe. As Gamer James will be the next to cross the line. Now, I've been asked in the chat who I think is going to win the championship. I will say my opinion once we get most drivers in the pits, but hopefully for some of you it might not be a surprise. But yeah, Dan is my second pick for the championship. Oh, as Tony has invalidated his run then, so hopefully it's not next run invalidated because that will be an absolute nightmare if that's next run invalidated. So he is going to go, I think he's going to go again. Yep, he's going to go again, so no harm done there. Scottish Goat is going out again as well. So yeah, most people are doing out laps, then a cool down lap, and then a push lap, and then they're probably going to go into the pits after that because the conditions are not going to improve, of course, because we only have one weather slot. Oh yes, good point. Thanks, Casper. I don't know why I forgot to enable that. I usually enable that in qualifying. Don't know why it's not enabled. So there we go. I've got it enabled now, so it's all good. Chris Johnson goes into the pits. Let's see what our pole sitter at the moment. I can't pole sit. No, well, he can't do anything. He's invalidated. It's Abu has had a bit of a slide going through turn 3. Luckily, he didn't hit the wall, so he's fine. Dan next across the line. I think he was like 2 seconds down. Yep, he's 2 seconds down, so that's him done. Chris improves, though, to third fastest. So he's now 41.3 for the McLaren driver, which is very impressive. Next cross the line will be Jordan. I think it's the early Red Bull. Actually, no, he's not. It's Jordan and Jack Ray tonight. So Jordan, what can he do? P3. A man who I say, if the race is wet, watch out for him. He's good. Kaya goes up to the line. He's 5th at the moment. Stop the count, by the way. 5th in the wet for Kaya. Am I seeing things here? Am I reading things? Is Kaya actually not too bad in the wet? I don't know. Or maybe just put less fuel in. I don't know. But that's good though. That's what I like to see from some drivers who consistently improve as the game cycle goes on. Jay goes up to the line. He goes second fastest. 7/10 slower than pole sitter Jacko at the moment. And Abu goes into the pit lane. James is going to be on his second lap time. Fastest set to 1 at the moment does belong to Jake with a 31.7. Jordan not that far behind at the moment with a 31.8. I think Jordan's improving, you know. So we'll follow Jordan in just a moment. So James goes out then. I watch James in other leagues and he is improving as the game cycle goes on as well. As Dan goes to 3rd, by the way. It's hard to keep track when there's quite a few people doing multiple laps. That's why it's so much easier to track people in dry qualifying rather than wet qualifying. So, Chris goes up to the line in 6th fastest. Really good for him. Jordan's up next. In my telemetry, he's improving and he goes 2nd. I was right. Purple final sector as well. 40.335. Now that is good for the Red Bull man. Now, this is the driver who I think I'm tipping for the championship. That's my personal opinion, as long as he cuts his mistakes. That is my opinion. He's a very smart driver. And he's got good racecraft. And he's got consistent pace as well. But will he be able to keep it up for the season? He hasn't set a lap time yet. And he's proved my theory just right at the moment. He's gone fastest with a 39.425. So he's the fastest man on circuit at the moment with Jeho in 2nd, Jordan in 3rd, Jake 4th, Scottish Go in 5th spot. I think Dan's on. No, he's a 2nd down. Never mind. I'm just seeing who else could be on a lap time. I think Jack Cray's improving. He hasn't set. Well, Jack Cray's improving. He's personal best set to 1 and 2. So we've done a 32.4 first sector, 44.5 middle sector. What's it going to be for the final sector? He's 10th. So he goes into the top 10. He will take that. We've got the 2 Williams up on runs. We've got Jeho in at P2, who's going to be on a outlap at the moment. The Williams behind Chris Johnson has invalidated, unfortunately, so he can't improve on his lap time. Oh, Casper. Well, of course, also, we don't just run DBF2. In July, DBF1 will be back. Well, I'll be back on the racetrack for that one, but that'll be in July. And I expect it will be on the new F1 26 DLC, which is yet to be announced as to what date is coming out. And I bet you'll probably be out when I'm away, which will be annoying. As Chris Johnson, by the way, goes at 6th fastest. So we do not have long to go of the session. 5 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. And Jordan, by the way, goes... He's been on those tyres for 5 laps, by the way. And he's still improving. So I wonder if he prefers warmer tyres. I can't wait to see DBF1 because I get to run the lovely Red Bull livery. The 26 Red Bull livery, which looks awesome. So yeah, I can't wait for that. It's going to be so good. I'm a bit disappointed that nobody, Jordan and Jack, neither of them are running the white Red Bull. because I love the right Red Bull. It's just so nice. It's brilliant. It's my lucky charm. So I could see who's improving. We got Jack's improving to a 31-1. Abu in 10th. He's purple set to 1 and 2. Let's keep an eye on him. 31-0 first sector, 43-2 middle sector. This lap's looking very, very good for him. Very nice final few corners he goes. Uses a lot of that exit curb, which shows that he's comfortable. 38-4, wow. That is very decent. Purple in every single sector thus far. And the question is, can anybody beat that? Darky, who hasn't set a lap yet, he's purple set to 2. Doesn't use much of that curb to what Abdu's done. But can he go fast overall? Let's see. Yes, he does, by 4 tenths. Could have improved in the first sector, but his second to last sector has helped catapult him to P1 right now. Dash is the only other driver yet to set a lap time. So a lot of work to do then for Dash. Quite a lot of people are now going to be heading to the pit lane. Jake's improving. 31-5 for him in the middle sector as he enters turn 8. Bit of a slide from Jake coming out that corner. So it seems to me he's struggling a little bit for traction. Casper, I'm asking the same question. I'm not in control of the lineups. I just commentate it. Casper. I have no idea. But there we go. Don't ask me, Casper. But anyway, Jake goes through turn 11. I don't think anyone else is improving apart from Fergus. He's not setting the time. Actually, no. Fergus is set to 1. It's pretty good. So I wonder if he's put less fuel in. The game's saying purple set to 2 for Jake, but on my telemetry, it's not. It's green. It's a 43.999. Oh, someone's blocked him. Someone's blocked him heading towards the final corner. This could be fastest without that block. He goes up to the line. 39.6. Would that have costed a bit of time? I don't know. Let's watch Fergus. No, Fergus goes into the pit lane. So that's him done. Dan is improving, but he's not purple in any sector at the moment. 31.6. He was faster at one point. Him and his teammate, not that far in terms of timings. Scottish Go did a 40.962. Dan Wilnut did a 40.992. Which I find quite impressive, actually. So, let's watch Dan P. Wilnut towards the final corner. Nicely done. Nicely done. Used all of that apex. Probably more than I would have done in the rain. He goes up to the line. What's going to be? 6th fastest. 6th fastest for Dan. Next to improve is Kaya, who was 5th at one point. He was 5th at one point in the timings. I'm tempted to do a screenshot because people may not believe me, but there we go. Darky is retired. Dark Shadow goes 8th. Kaya goes 8th, so he's still in the top 10. I don't see any big improvements from people, but you never know. Oh, Abu has invalidated. Oh, careful. He's gonna... I think he's lost a bit of his front wing now. Yep, he's lost a bit of his front wing, so unfortunate there. It's hard to tell who's on cool-down laps and who's on flying laps, so we will keep an eye on it. Jack's improving, 32.0. He's 2 seconds up at the moment. So he could be in the 39s. How's he take turn 8? Not too bad. To be fair, I'm very impressed that we've had no retirements in this qualifying session, touch wood. Which means I think a lot of people want to make sure that they have the best qualifying possible, because when we head to the race, it's going to be difficult to overtake because of the DRS trains. In towards turn 11 and 12. Keeps the car to the right-hand side. You can tell this track is designed well for a pad, but in the rain, it's difficult for Jack. Jordan to set a personal best middle sector. We'll keep an eye on him in a minute. Checkered flag has just dropped. Actually, though, let's go on board with his teammate as he's first across the line. So Jordan goes up to the line. Fourth, stays fourth. Can Jack get in the top 10? Nope, he's 14th. Chris up next. No, it's not Chris, it's Kaya. Kaya stays 8th. Next it will be Scottish Goat in 14th place. I can tell with my timings actually who's next across the line because I can tell if they're on a middle sector. Jack, by the way, in the Haas is purple first sector, so that is impressive for him. Dan goes, Scottish Goat goes up to the line, sorry. P13. Next will be one of the Mercedes, which is Jake. I have got it right. There we go. Up to the line. 39.3. Goes in at the top 5. We got Camels on a lap and both Williams. They're not able to improve on that one. We got the Aston Martins of Deck and Tony. What could Deck do? Goes third. Jacko then could be the one who could spoil the party. I need to know how to pronounce that name. If you could let me know on Discord, that would be lovely. But it looks like it's going to be fastest. Quite comfortably, actually, fastest. By 4 seconds per second. It's a good job for him. Chris is next. What could he do? He goes 7th. So it's just Gamer James, who unfortunately has invalidated. So is Abu. So, our first pole position for Season 2 of DBF2 is Jack, with Darky in second, Deck in third. And if it was a dry qualifying session, the top 5 would have to start on the side they qualified on. But since it is a wet qualifying session and a dry race, that means every single driver can start at whatever time they want to. And since we didn't have a testing session, I've just had word in the chat from Jack. Places will be reviewed after this week to make sure it's balanced. So if there's any drivers that are too quick for this tier, they will be kicked. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on sandbaggers as well. So, yeah, just go at your normal pace. But don't sandbag. So, we'll go through your order then. So, we got Jack from Darky, Deck, Abu, Jordan, Camels, Chris, Jake, Dan, Dark Shadow, Gamer James, Chris Johnson, Scottish Goat, Jack Gray, Tony, Fergus, and Dash. That is your order then for this qualifying session. And now we're going to go to a complete dry race, which it is light cloud, which is not going to make a difference around Bahrain because, well, I don't know. It's just scenery, I'm guessing. But it's a 35% race. 35% race. And it looks like I have to do the wheel for the second race as well. Do I? Are you sure about that? Or is it the top 5 in qualifying will have to start on the same time in Australia as well? Yeah, I confused on what you put in the Discord chat, Jack. I thought I only spin the wheel race 1. Or is it both races? I will double check that. But yeah, as I was saying, 35% race for race 1 with safety car on. Race 2, which will be Australia later on, 25% race with one shot qualifying safety car off. And the top 14 in every race score points. So it'll be first place gets 25, second place gets 18, and it's 15, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it allows people to basically just not give up, basically. I'll need to check with Jack if I have to spin the wheel for race 2 as well. Both races wheel. And tyre qualifying rules only race 1. Oh, okay, so I was wrong. Okay, thanks, Jack. Thanks, Jack. But anyway, we are about to get going then for the race. The 5 red lights are on. action here in Bahrain. A decent start for Darky, actually. One of the Ferraris have gone wide almost in the first corner, but Darky's going to get a good run on Deck as well. Has had a good start. A few people running wide in towards turn 2. There's a few people having to cut the grass for good measure. But it is Darky that leads. Jacko in second, Abu in third. Both the Hatters trying to fight it. Kaya trying to go around the outside of Scottish Goat then in towards turn 4 and 5. But Kaya is up into 6th place. He's made some good moves already, but he's under pressure for Chris Johnson as they make their way towards turn 8. Warley's being flown about already. Now there's a bit of end play damage from some of our drivers, so hopefully that won't cost them too much as we head into this race. Oh yeah, I see an end plate from one of the Alpines missing. That was Cam Rules had a bit of a end plate missing. It's not Darky because Darky's up there in front. So we'll get the tyres up for you. So everyone's got a chance for tyres. So top 5 mediums. Top 6. So we got we'll go through the tyres in a minute because we've got some battles going on as Jordan going side by side. It's going to be 4 wide almost going towards penultimate corner. Don't make it 4 wide, lads, because we don't want any carnage going on as James trying to make their way through. Cam goes into the pits, understandably. I think the end plate is causing him a bit more harm than not, really. In towards turn 1 they go. Here comes the V-carb of Dash. Trying to get past James. James covers off very nicely. What about Chris? He's dropped down into 12th. Not the start that he would have liked, as we could see. Quite a lot of things going on. Through towards turn 4. Turn 4 still going side by side. Very respectful racing between the pair of them. And Dash as well on the hard, which is very brave. Oh, we see some movement. Scottish Goat and... No, it's not Scottish Goat, never mind. It's Dan that's got his way past Kaya up to 8th. It's a good move from Dan. Not the start of the race he would have wanted, but don't forget, since it was a way of qualifying, it has shaken it up a bit. Meanwhile, Abu's got past his teammate for 2nd place. Expect the softs, though, to run out quite quickly. I'm surprised at how many people started on the softs. I thought nobody would start on the softs. And also in a 35% race, starting on the hard is not the best either, but we could try to see some people going for the alternate strategy here as we get through in this motor race so far. So, of course, we will find out what has happened. As oh no, was not meant to do that. As we got we missed the battle for the lead. I do apologise. I have my cursor on the game, which is a bit frustrating. But there we go. So we got Darky, who's yeah. I need to fix this, by the way, because you can see a bit of the cursor. That's a bit frustrating. There we go. I've got it fixed now. So you can't see the cursor. Anyway, Abu now takes the lead. Great move from him. Apologies if I missed it because I've been trying to sort out some tech issues. But we've got Abu leading. Darky's got a good run in turn 9 and 10 now. Makes a bit of contact. Deck's got a good run as well. Let's see if he can burn some battery. He's got quite a bit of battery to use, actually. He's got past the Haas already. So I wonder if the Haas in 4th place is struggling in terms of race pace right now. I think he is, which will be a bit unfortunate if that's the case. I think Deck seems to be a bit more consistent in terms of race pace. The only time where Deck has been let himself down is Sector 3. Sector 2 is where he's the most confident. I wonder if he's running a high downforce thing, but Jacko comes back at him. Darky's going to come back on Abu. So the two Hasses are fighting for podium positions here this afternoon. Or this evening, sorry. Abu for the win and Jacko for 3rd. Deck unfortunately can't get the move done. Jake's in this fight as well. Not quite enough, though, to try and close in on these guys. I think if I was one of them, maybe an early pit stop in about 5 or 6 laps time will probably be good. As Fergus has picked himself a penalty. Love this helicopter shot, by the way. I remember the battle in Bahrain, I remember quite vividly, is the battle between Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen in 2022 when the new race came. And we all had this false sense of hope saying, oh, they could drive closely. This is great. The racing is fixed. And then, of course, we had, well, Red Bull dominating. So, yeah, we had false hope. Because Ferrari were like the similar pace to Red Bull, and then, Ferrari bottled. But to be fair, I think Carlos Sainz won Silverstone in 22, so there were many races that Ferrari did very well that season. But yeah, that was the battle I remember quite well. Don't forget points on the line. Due to the fact that there's not many races this season, they can't afford to make any mistakes at all. Let's watch Jaho right now. As he is probably quicker than his teammate right now. As Abu tries to get past Darky. Darky defends to the inside. I think if Abu wanted a chance, he would go for the move in turn 4. But I think Abu and his teammate, Joe, is losing out on ERS here. As Abu trying to go in towards turn 5. Bit of contact! That could allow his teammate to get past him. I wonder if Abu has picked himself up some damage there. It's really hard to tell. By the way, Kyo has picked up some damage. I know that. 6% front right. But I don't think it's going to cost him anything. So he is going to stay in the pits right now. So that's a bit unfortunate. Still side by side between Abu and Deck. Deck could have took advantage of that, but he decided to stay back. I think he would probably try and go for the move in towards turn 1, I would say. And thank you to those of you that have been tuning in. Great to see quite a few of you tuning in, actually. If you like what you're seeing, give this channel a subscribe. And we'll be streaming every Wednesday night at 7:05. We're almost on 100 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please press the subscribe button. It'll be much appreciated. And also follow us on our socials as well. Take 2 then for Jack in the Haas. Here he comes in towards T1. Let me get the telemetry up to see if I can see battery. He's got plenty of battery. He's using it all in the right places. I would use a bit of overtake, but I think Darky has got a better exit in towards turn 3, which helped him keep it initially. But Jacka with that battery then, he's taken advantage, but they can't afford to make any more contact. Darky just seems to me like he's had better traction. So he keeps the lead for now. Any one of this top 8 could win this race. The top 8 are in this DRS train. Well, but to be fair, that's Bahrain for you. That is Bahrain for you. So you can see, I'm looking on board with Jack's ERS. He's burning, I think he's saving it in the corners and burning it on the straights, which is what I would do in Abu Dhabi. Abu is doing the same, so is Deck. And I'm seeing plenty of other drivers, though, using just medium and overtake, and you're gonna lose out on so much momentum to overtake if you do that. Using none in the corners, especially on the heavy braking zones, is what's best, I think. What can Jack do? He's got to be so much better on the exits. Turn 1, he's got to make this move stick, because he can see Darko doesn't want Jacka to get this move stick. 3 wide in towards turn 3. In towards turn 4 they go. Surely one of them has got to back out here. But Jack takes the lead. He's learnt my lesson, it seems, but I don't think he's going to stick it this time. Darky's so much more confident, but understandably, Darky lets this one go. Surely one of these lot in this DRS train. Oh, it's a bit of contact there between Abu and Darky. Gonna be the chance for Deck to get past Darky here, or Jake. Don't forget Chris Johnson on those softs, still keeping up with them all. Chris Johnson will probably pit very soon as well. Here comes Deck. Almost got past Darky, can't do it. And that is why on a track like Bahrain, where the DRS train at Central, qualifying was key. Yes, it was raining, but you have to be good in the rain and in the dry. A champion is good at both weathers. So, on towards the start-finish straight then. Lap 8 of 20. We got our first pitter. One of the Mercedes, that's Jake. So Jake is coming for an early pit stop. Don't forget, safety car is on. So he's gambling that there won't be a safety car now. Darky gets past Abu. So Jake doesn't want to be in this traffic. And he's going to hope he comes out in clean air. So Jake's going to go on to hards. Jack then tries to get past Abu. Can he make it stick this time? I think he can. Nope, he doesn't. Abu maintains P3. Dash in P5. I think... So Jake, Chris Johnson and Dan pitted. So Dan has got ahead of Chris Johnson in the pits. Didn't get ahead of Jake. So Jake stayed ahead of him. But to be fair, Dan's undercut is, I think, it's going to signal a worry if you're Jack, Darky, or Abu, or Deck. If you've not pitted yet, that is your signal. I can't remember which game I tried medium to soft with, but softs around here, you can tell, because obviously Chris Johnson pitted lap 7. And we know that undercuts are powerful around here, so probably medium hard or hard medium will be better. Dash, don't forget, it's going to be on mediums later on in the race, which is going to be quite good as well. So, will we see pitters? Yes, we see one of the Hasses come in. That's Abu. He's responding to Jake. Dash, side by side with Deck then. The hards are starting to come into their own, it looks like. Dash needs to be more comfortable on the hards. Around the outside. In towards turn 2. Now into turn 3. Dash keeps his line. Darky's now going to try and get the lead from Jago though in towards turn 4. We've got a speeding in the pit lane penalty for Fergus. As Dan, by the way, gets past Jake. But I don't think they're going to get past Abu in the pit lane. But don't forget, they're going to be on much warmer tyres compared to the ones that have just pitted. So Abu must have had a good in-lap. Dan has got to get this move and take advantage of him having warmer tyres. Through turn 4 they go. Careful that they don't make contact. Dan runs a bit wide. This could be an opportunity for Jake. But he can't do it. This is honestly great in terms of strategy, because obviously I have no idea when it comes to strategies. But these four are giving some good racing. So it makes me question, does the undercut work? But of course it depends on the pace. If you're able to keep a consistent pace over your rivals and you don't get held up, then maybe going on to staying out for a bit longer and just trying to potentially maybe go on softs at the end might be quite more beneficial. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see, as we're approaching halfway distance soon. And as we approach halfway distance, Scottish Goat comes into the pit lane. Onto a set of the hard tyres, understandably. So through he comes. Abu is going to be the one to watch. It's going to be close coming out of the pit lane. You can see Scottish Goat coming out. You can see the DRS train of Abu, Deck, and... No, not Deck. Dan and Jake. And they get ahead of him. They get ahead of Scottish Goat. Crucially, Chris Johnson gets ahead of Scottish Goat. Yellow flag. Now, that was a quick yellow flag on my screen, so I wonder if just someone had a bit of an off or something. Honestly, I have no idea. So in towards turn 7. You can see now, I think they're burning a bit more battery than needed right now. But then they'll have to save it for the last 10 laps or so. Let us know your predictions in chat on who you think is going to win this race. It could go either way. Fair play to people. I think the people that are staying out on mediums now are probably committing to a soft strategy. That's what they're going to try and do. Darky stays in P1 for now. But he's not going to keep out for that long. Yet they're committing to the soft strategy. Dash goes and pits. I'm almost certain Dash is coming in for mediums. Soft won't get to the end, but he'll be very brave if he can do it. Through he comes then. Mediums, yeah, I was right. Fresh mediums for Dash. Darky takes the lead. The tyre temperatures are getting a bit warmer here in Bahrain. So that is something to consider. Side by side once more. To be fair, the front lot, they're doing a great job. A great job at the moment, just maintaining that pace. But I'm seeing on the lap times, because I've got telemetry software, that words, Jess, come on. The lap times are definitely falling off right now. And we know how hard it is, especially on the rears around here, as they tend to slide at a point around about now. So your net race leader is Abu. Then it's Dan, then it's Jake. I've got in my notes somewhere what the pit lane loss time is around Bahrain. It is 22 seconds. And what's the gap now to leader? Oh! Jack, 10-second penalty. That's thrown any chance of him getting the race win. With him getting that 10-second penalty. Deck comes in. Soft tyres. They have to. If they were staying out that long, they have to commit to a soft tyre strategy. Here comes Abu. But they're just going to be stuck way behind. Yes, they're going to be on a softer tyre. But with a long DRS trade, it's going to be so hard to overtake. So in my opinion, I would have taken track position. So we'll see what happens. The ones who pitted early have probably done this here, but what would I know on strategy? So it's just Darky yet to pit. The pit lane loss, as I said, is 22 seconds, which means Abu will come out ahead. So I'm thinking Darky will come out behind Deck. So he'll be 9th place. So he'll lose 9 places just by staying out. So unless the two soft runners can get past just like that, then it's going to be a tall order for them. Chris Johnson's not giving up without a fight, though. So, Jaho is through to 5th place. So he's trying to make his way through. But the drivers around him is definitely not going to make it look easy. Definitely not. Each of them have got a lot of work to do until the end of this race. Darky is the final one of our pitters to come in. There they come. Soft tyres. So Darky will drop a long way. So him trying to overtake will be a bit more difficult than our other soft runners. Jacko gets past Jake. Jake fights back. I thought Jake was going to let Jacko go there. But nice defending from Jake there. And we can see Dan trying to defend from Jacko as well. 3 wide. Jacko's got past not 1 but 2 drivers. Yellow flag. That's one of the McLarens. That's Kaya. That's Kaya that's had enough, I think. Yeah. Has he got damage? Come on. Yes, he's got damage. 40% front left. Still got 60% front right as well. So yeah, he's got severe front wing damage. And you can see on the car as well that he has got front wing damage. So His chances of good points for Kaya is over, 'cause top 14 score points. So unfortunately, if this is the way it goes, you'll miss out, which is a shame, because Kaya was running out of such a decent position. He has asked me to keep an eye out on lag, but it doesn't seem to me that he's lagging that much, which is pretty decent. We're about to start lap 14 at the moment, and McLaren. And Haas 1-2 right now with Abu and Jaho. And Jaho on soft tyres. The question is, how long is he going to make that last? And is his teammate going to pull off a defence here? We'll have to wait and see. Farz's lap belongs to Jaho with a 1:31.1. Darky gets past Scottish Goat, so that's his first target. If you are a quick driver around here, you've got to learn how to get past traffic. You can't just barge your way past people. You've got to find creative ways to overtake, give each other space, and that's all you can do here. Just like Jaho did on his teammate. He's passed Abu and he's in the lead. But don't forget, Jaho has got a 10-second penalty. So he's got to find 10 seconds on Abu to keep this race win, which is going to be very difficult because we know the softs will go very soon. And we know the hard runners will catch up very soon as well. So we've got a mixture of hard and soft runners in the top 7. Darky hasn't dropped down that much, which shows how good of a driver he is. Oh, what's happened there? Did someone just disconnect? I swear there was like an Alpine that just like ghosted or something. I hope that wasn't my internet that was causing trouble. Doesn't look like it at the moment. Thank goodness it wasn't. I was having a bit of a panic there, but we're all good. We're all good. Panic over, Jess. Panic over. So as I was saying earlier, of course, you got to do well in every race because points mean the same. And you will be in the Dive Bomb Hall of Fame if you win this championship. And hopefully we'll get enough drivers to run DBF2 next season. But it will be run on a different night to DBF1. Because in DBF1, you can race if you're in DBF2. Whereas if you're in DBF1 and you're too quick for DBF2, you can't race. And people will say, oh, can I race on the back? No. There's some people that can race well on a wheel and on a pad. So there we go. That's just the way it goes in DBF1, DBF2. And like Jack was saying, the places will be reviewed anyway since we've had no testing. As Dan has got a good... I thought he had a good run there, but Darky has got past Jake, but now he's going to try and get past Dan as well. Nicely done. With hardly any ERS as well, which is interesting for Darky. He burns a bit there. Quite a lot of the front runners are doing very well with their ERS management. Darky's got damage. 26%. I don't think he's noticed it. He's got 26% damage front right. I only just noticed that. So I wonder if he got it in it when he was battling earlier or when I don't know. Hard to tell there. Kaya's still got damage and he's still staying out. And it's very important as well when the drivers pit that they select their auto repair to like yes or something. And oh, okay. I've disconnected a bit. Hopefully that hasn't disconnected the stream. I'll have to do another one otherwise, if that's the case. No, we're good. Okay, we have the stream hasn't been disconnected. So apologies for the blip right now that you missed a bit. The internet just went, ugh, but we're all good now. So your order right now is Jack in P1, Abby P2, Deck P3. The gap now between Deck and Abu is 2.4 seconds. The thing that made me jump was I heard the smoke alarm. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I swear I just heard the smoke alarm, which was I was getting a bit worried. But it's my parents cooking at the moment. They are good cooks. Or it might just me, like, talking too high and damaging my ears or something. But Darky's going to go on another attempt on deck. Don't forget they're on the same length of... Actually, no, yeah. Darky's got a better tyre offset than Deck has. So I think that's going to give Darky some advantage here. So Darky is through on deck. So I think that's going to be your order then. So the soft runners have come their way through. So I was wrong. That just shows how rubbish I am on strategy. But there we go. Jack, though, is not pulling away to Abu, as Jack Craig has got a 3-second time penalty. Yellow flag. That is one of the Red Bulls. That is Jack that's had a moment. So, he's got no damage, though, so he's okay. He's fine. Jobs are good, and as far as I'm concerned, for Mr. Jack Craig. The gap now between... So, Abu will still win this race. Jack, I think... Let me just check the gap. So, Jack will drop down to 9th place if it stays as it is. So, he's got to try and increase that gap in order to make sure he wins this race. But, honestly, I don't think that's going to happen right now. Lap 18 and 20. The closest battle is between Dash and Scottish Goat, as Dash gets past Scottish Goat. We got Tony and Kaya fighting for the last point, as Kaya trying to close off as well. And we also got Jack Craig fighting in the midst as well. I'm keeping an eye on Tony's ERS though. He's not saving efficiently in the way he would have liked. He's not using none at all. But let's keep an eye on Jake, as Dash has got past Jake, I believe. And now Scottish Goat's going to put Jake under pressure as well. So those 4 drivers, it's going to be very intriguing to see how they do. Of course, we've got the second race coming up in Australia, where we got one-shot qualifying and a 25% race. And the weather wheel will be spun again. Yes, the weather wheel will be spun again. And the question is, will it be a dry race? Or will it be a wet race around Australia? Or will it be a dry or wet quali? Of course, the quali format, where the top 5 have to start on the tyre they qualified on, it only comes into effect in race 1. So in race 2, they can start on whatever tyre they want to. As here comes Dan. Now, actually, Scottish Goat on Jake, actually. Nicely done. They've got quite a few moves happening in the background as well. Darky's right on the back of Abu as well on the penultimate lap of this race. You can see Darky is about 5/10 quicker than Abu in the last lap. Despite the fact that Darky has picked himself damage. Honestly, if I had damage, I would be a bit worried right now. And we've had 70 drivers tonight. To be fair, for the first round, it's a very good turnout. So thank you to everybody that's turned up. And honestly, this week has not been good mentally at work. So I kind of needed a good turnout to commentate on, to cheer me up. And it definitely has cheered me up. I'm taking my fleece off after this as well. I've had my fleece on all day at home. But we are about to start the final lap of this race. So Jack leads, Abu second, Darky third. How long will it stay? We'll have to see. There's still an interesting fight that we can get for the win on track. Abu takes the lead from Jack. Darky will get second, but I wonder if he wants to fight with it on track. I don't think, if I was Darky, I wouldn't. Unless he's going to lose significant time. Scottish Goat's going to try and get past Jake again. Nice fighting from them, but Scottish Goat's hardly got much ERS to use, which is why that has helped Jake quite a lot there on the exit of turn 6. No, not turn 6, sorry, turns 4 and 5. Oh my God. My brain today is crazy. Scottish Goat has got to save that battery. Because he hasn't saved that much. Yeah, there we go. He's going to save it in the braking zone. He gets a good run. It is hard to even get a move done. He's going to try and get the move. And if he was to get the move done, it would be on the final lap. But unfortunately, he's not going to do it. So our attention goes to Abu, who has driven a very good race. Medium to hard strategy seemed to be the right one. He came across the line and he wins on debut in Dive Bomb. Darky second, Deck third, Dash with a brilliant debut in fourth, Dan 5th, and Jack will drop down to 7th place. So we're seeing Scottish Goat and Jordan come across the line. Not a good race for him. James goes up to the line at 11th. And there'll be Chris, Camrals, and Tony will be your final points scorers. With Kaya, Jack Craig, and Burgers picking up 0 points. So through they come then. Up to the line. Final points. And we'll draw our attention to this man on debut in DBF2. A win will be added to his stat sheet, and well deserved. He kept things calm. His tyres were in a lot better condition compared to Darky's, and that's what helped him win the race in the end. So congratulations to Abu. We'll go through your results in just a minute as we go through your order. So we got a race winner, Abu, fastest lap Darky, driver of the day in the game goes to Dash. Dan got most overtakes and Dash has got cleanest driver. So here's your order then. Abu from Darky, Deck, Dash, Dan Wilner, Jake, Jack, Chris Johnson, Scottish Goat, Jordan, Gamer James, Chris, Camrals, Tony, Kaya, Jack, and then Fergus. Now, I'm going to take a short break so I can rest my voice. And then we will spin the wheel for the weather for race 2. I thought it was just race 1, but Jack has told me that it's race 2 as well. So, whilst I rest my voice then and get the wheel sorted, we'll spin the wheel in just about 3 or 4 minutes' time. But for now, enjoy your break, everybody. Welcome back to Dive Bomb. Just had a drink and I just rested my voice because I don't think I would have carried on waffling. I needed a drink, to be honest. So we are going to be doing the same now. As you can probably tell, the wet section of qualifying is gone, so there's just 2 very wet. So it's more likely to get a dry qualifying than a wet qualifying. But we'll see what happens. Now, I know the drivers want to get racing quickly, so I'm going to not waffle now, and we're going to see what it's going to be for qualifying. It's going to be clear. So it's going to be clear then for quali. So we removed that. So let's get the race. Don't forget, it's a one-shot qualifying, by the way. But here we go then. Just so we could get things underway quickly. You're welcome, guys. So the race, oh no! It is very wet, so it's the opposite. It's going to be full wet conditions in Australia. Drivers, I am sorry, but that's what the wheel has given us here today. So we're going to have a very wet Australia. So let me remove those and I'll save those so we head into next week. So the drivers now will be told to ready up, hopefully, so we can then get this race started. So clear, qualifying, and a very wet race. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Good luck. And the drivers are going to be shocked about the weather unless they tune into the stream. So hopefully you all have tuned into the stream, because otherwise you're going to have no clue what the weather's going to be. So, here we go then. Welcome to Australia. A track where the last winner in Dive Bomb was me. I won in Australia last time out in DBF1 after starting 9th place. So there we go. So I know how well it is to win around here, but I know how well it is to bottle around here because I raced in another league and I bottled it. So there you go. So circuit history, first used in Formula 1, the Miss Melbourne track back in 1996. And I can't remember on the top of my head when it started in Adelaide, but we will see. Now my question is, will the drivers go for a dry setup or a wet setup? We'll have to wait and see. There's been lot of times where Australia was the opening round. The last two years, Australia was the opening round of the championship. And it is a temporary facility. It could be quite bumpy. Obviously, the reprofile turn 8 and 9 has proved to have some really spectacular racing. But of course, with the real life 2026 regulations, it can be prone to super clipping. And it's an absolute nightmare. So, here we go. Let's get cracking with the race then. One shot qualifying. So they all have one attempt. I'm trying to figure out from one shot qualifying last time. I'm predicting a 16.8 is going to be pole for one shot qualifying. That's my prediction. I'm just looking at the chat, the Discord chat, to see if we have any reactions to what it's going to be like in the race. But we have no reaction, so they're keeping things clean for now. Let's go on board then with our race winner from Bahrain as he makes his way through now in towards turn 3. Aim for that right apex. In 3rd gear, flip the car, 4th gear. Make sure you don't run off that curb. And we already got some invalidation. Nicely done through 5. In towards turn 6, flip the car. I would have put it in 5th or 6th gear. Personally. Purple set. He's looking very comfortable. But Darky looking like he's going to be fast at the moment. But we're watching Abu as he's used quite a lot of battery to use. He hasn't got much left. Through towards turn 10. Nicely done. Looked very comfortable. In towards turn 11 and 12 now. Into 3rd gear now. And into the left-hand side. Both the Red Bulls actually are looking quite quick around this circuit. Through to the final few corners. And you're going to aim for that right-hand apex coming up now near the pit lane. Which he does. Through the last corner, it's going to be Darky that gets pole. But Abu will get second. I was close. I said a 16.8 for one-shot qualifying pole. But Darky got 16.5. I was 3 tenths off. I will take that. I will take that. So, of course, it's going to be a very wet session. And if you're listening, drivers, you have to stop. You have to stop even in wet weather. You have to stop at least once. So, here we go then. We've got Darky from Abu, Jack, Ray, Jordan, Jack, Chris, Deck, Kaya, Chris Johnson, James, and Cam Rules. They've validated. Everyone else has invalidated. And that is your order. And Dan will be starting at the back. And as I've learned from Dive Bomb last season, in the dry, easy to overtake. In the wet, definitely not. But at least he gets one of the worst conditions out of the way. And look at that. Oh, it looks horrific. Absolutely horrific. But from experience, do not use full wet. Just don't. Just don't use full wet in full wet. People will be thinking, why? This game is weird sometimes. Like the first few laps, yeah, the full wet is better. But the inters just are so much better after that. Or you could be on full wet for like 2-3 laps and then pit for inters for the rest of the race. But yeah, just don't use full wet. Use wet. It will feel difficult the opening few laps. But after 3-4 laps, the inters will be so much faster than the full wet. And realistically, the full wets could last the race, but I think you would probably have to pit anyway, even though it is required to pit anyway. The most challenging parts are the rear tyre wear because of the aggressive traction zones around this circuit. It could overheat in the dry, but I can imagine it could overheat quite a bit in the race as well. The thing we're going to watch out for here is turn number 1. Tight right-hander, good traction is needed. Turn 2 follows quite quickly. We've seen quite a few people get penalties here. I think we saw quite a few people invalidate it there as well. So, of course, the drivers will have to wait until they be given the ready up call. They can't ready up until Jack says. So, as a reminder, I will do a quick reminder again because loads of people have been asking in the Discord chat again. Drivers do have to stop once. And we're going to get going then. Here we go. The 5 red lights are on. Here in Australia. Action here in... Oh, it's Darky starting at the back. Okay, never mind. That's confusing. But yeah, Darky starting at the back. I don't know why. Probably he got disqualified or something. But it's Abby that leads. Jack in second. Jordan. I said keep an eye on Jordan in the rain. And he's just doing that as we've got trouble at the back, it looks like. Yeah. Kaya and Darky. What's happened to... Wait, so Darky is leading. It's just Darky's ghosted for me. Right. So, a bit of desync my end, it seems. GG game. But... Oh, there he is. It's gone back to normal now. So, yeah, and it's Darky that is always the trouble with this circuit, isn't it? So, Darky that leads. Abu in second. Jordan third. We got Jack in fourth. And apologies about my annoying disconnection. We're going to get dropped frames. I'm going to have to fix the bitrate. Hang on a second. There is a lot of action going on, but just bear with as I fix the bitrate issue. As I don't know why it's going up to like 4,000 bitrate. So, do apologise about that. So you're going to have to just bear with the drop frames for now. But Darky's already falling away. And I'll get the tyres actually and see if people have followed my suggestion on going on inters. Yes, top 4 have. Thank you. Thank you. So top 4 have followed my suggestion on going on to inters. Bravo. Bravo. As Deck in 5th on wets, but still managing to keep up. And we could already see quite a few gaps forming right now in terms of drivers right now, but we can see as we got James has retired from the session. Meanwhile, Scottish Goat looking quite decent in the wet conditions. He can almost get past Chris here. Chris covers him off to the inside. Bit of contact. This could unsettle the car if he's not careful. But I think he's going to be all right as it is for now. It's just so hard. We're traction. Oh, Scottish Goat. He got very unlucky there. I think both Ferraris got unlucky there as well. Not much happening at the front. But if you're Chris Johnson, or Deck? You're going to try and go for the move. Look at Deck. On those full wets. He seems to be more happier in the full wet conditions, which is fair enough. Here he goes then, on the inside. As Deck now chases Jordan for third. But Jordan is about a second quicker than Deck. So it's going to be a tall... I think the Inters will start to become a faster tyre very, very soon. So, of course, we will keep an eye on that. So we're about to start lap 3 then. Yellow flag again. That is Dash, who is struggling. It looks like. In the background, or there might be a yellow flag elsewhere. I don't know. Jake comes in then. He gets his first stop out of the way. I wonder if he's got damage. Doesn't look like he's got damage. So he's going to get... So it's full wets to full wets then. So he wants to clear air then, which is fair enough. You can pit wherever time you want in this race, as long as you pit at least once. And hopefully, the drivers do remember that. As we can see, coming up in towards turn 6, this is going to be tricky without the DRS, but the slipstream in these F125 cars, if you burn the battery, you can try and get past anyway. So we'll see what the Haas driver is going to do to try and get past Deck again. Because in an ordinary dry scenario, if you get DRS at one point, you're going to get DRS at another point. It's like there's only one DRS detection point. So if you get it in one point, you get it in another as well. Chris is looking very good on the intermediates. Bit of a slide coming out of, I can't remember what turn 10. And can he get Chris Johnson on the exit of turn 11? Nope, he doesn't. Dan, I think, has got past his teammate of Scottish Goat, who is also on that DRS train. Dash, I believe, is pitted, so... Yeah, Dash has pitted as well. Okay. So the only two drivers that have pitted are Jake and Dash. Due to the fact that someone readied up so early, which we couldn't tell what it was, who it was on stream, not many people... I think there was plenty of drivers that have got a compromised setup, which is a bit frustrating. Dan comes into the pits, Kaya comes in. Interestingly, there are some drivers that want to get their stops out of the way, but of course, like I was saying earlier, not many people would be practicing for these wet conditions. Darky looked like he's been in control of these wet conditions for quite some time. He's doing a great job. No one challenging him at the moment. Abu in P2. No one troubling him. Jordan. Jordan could be on for a podium. Well, what could Det do? Can he chase down Jordan? I think it's going to be a tall order for him. But he's got Jacko for company, where the intermediates are definitely the fast tyre. As Jack doing very well on the wets. He likes the wet conditions, I think. Even though he says in the chat, oh, for God's sake. But it seems to be just a lot better in these wet conditions. But to be fair, Jack Craig always does pretty decently around Australia anyway. So it is to be expected as we are about to start lap 5 of 15. Fastest lap does belong to Darky. Deck's found a bit more pace, but with Jacko past Deck, it's going to be a tall order. Jack comes in then. More drivers starting to come in. Honestly, I'm liking the varying strategies right now. If I was a driver, I would not know what to do. I would just wing it, personally. Or I would get my stop out of the way. But it does depend if I'm near anyone. And would I benefit from pitting early? That is why it's important. Now drivers know what the combos are, that they practice whichever combo's left. As we have got Dan, who's now ahead of Jack Craig, because of course Jack Craig... Actually, no, it's the other way around. Never mind. Jack is ahead of Dan. Dan is ahead of his teammate. Never mind. And as you can see, the tyres just take a long time to warm up as Abu Seems to me he's got much more heat in his rears than the fronts, which is understandable because around this circuit, the rears tend to overheat anyway. So there you go. There's a bit of a slide coming out of the exit of 13. 314. I'm trying to see if Jordan actually could close up. Looks like the gap is pretty stable. 133.4 for, I think it was Darky that just said 133.4. Yes, it was. He's increasing the gap all the time as Fergus has had a bit of an off. Don't forget, in the second race of the evening, we have no safety car as we see, I think Fergus had a bit of an off there as he came out of 12. Or was it turn 11? No, it was turn 11 that he had a bit of an off. Never mind. But Fergus now dives it in to the pit lane. So what tyre is Fergus going to put on, I wonder? Stays on the inters. He's got to, really. No full wets. Never mind. So he doesn't like the inters. He thinks the full wets are the best for him right now. The closest battle is between the two teammates of Daniel P. Wilnut and Scottish Go. Actually, no, it's Dan P. Wilnut and Jack Craig. Scottish Go. I know he says Scottish Wilnut. Oh my goodness me. There are times where Jack has been faster and there are times where Dan has been faster. But it looks to me Dan is a bit more comfortable. But on the first few laps on the wets, of course he would. But then a lap later, the inters that have started to form a bit of a dry line, it'll be better. Deck comes in, yellow flag. Who is that? Oh, the yellow flag's gone. Never mind. So I have no idea what the yellow flag is. Oh my God, what is going on? I could hear what was going on in the stream 20 minutes ago. You wouldn't want to hear that. No. And you wouldn't want to hear my voice again, would you? So as you can see, Jack Craig is making sure Dan doesn't get any slipstream. Now that is very cheeky indeed. I love it. I love it. Meanwhile, Jack is... pace has been relatively stable. He's now closing up to the back of the other Red Bull driver, or Jordan. Now we know Jack had the pace to win in the last race in Bahrain. But unfortunately, he got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He can't afford to do that in Australia. If he does, he's going to be in a spot of bother. So if I was him, I would be a bit more cautious when it comes to taking the pit lane entry. It's hard to adapt. There's still 5 drivers yet to do their mandatory pit stop. Don't forget, if they do not do their mandatory pit stop, they will get disqualified from the race. As Abu dives into the pits, gets the car slowed down, nicely done. So that's his first stop done and dusted for Abu. So we'll see where it ends up in just a minute. We'll keep an eye on Deck, who pitted recently, as Deck's had a bit of a slide there. Probably trying to get his tyres up to temperature, which is quite hard at the best of times, to be honest. But he's doing a good job. Still in 6th place. He's going to remain in 6th place because of the gap that Jack has got. I know Abu has got, sorry. It's about 7 seconds separating the two of them. So I think this has just shown who has made all the right stuff in terms of rain and who's not, really. And with it being a short season, they're lucky that they've got only a few wet races and wet qualifying to contend with. We've had a mixture of everything here today. And I wonder what the weather's going to throw at us next week. We'll have to wait and see. Jack's now caught up to Jordan. Lots of corner cutting warnings that I'm seeing on my telemetry. I'm seeing Dash has got like 7 warnings. He's on 6 seconds worth of penalties. Cam rules, it's got quite a few. Jordan's in the pits. Jordan is in the pit lane, getting a stop out the way. That just leaves 3 drivers yet to pit. Don't forget, they've got to do a pit stop. Otherwise, they're going to be in a spot of bother, and I wouldn't want to be the one explaining in the chat, oh, excuse me, you're getting disqualified because you haven't forgot to pit once. But I think it's hard to do a 0 stop anyway on this game. As Jordan has picked himself a first warning. Jack's got first warning as well. The ones who've got no penalties have just got 1 warning, but it's quite a lot on 0 warnings, so fair play. I think there was a race where I run default setup here, and it was not bad, but there were certain elements like this bit where I was just like a boat. So just don't run default setups just don't. Because, yeah, you just run like a boat, and it's just absolutely terrible. So we'll see what we could do as we make our way through in towards lap 10 and 15. For the 10th time of asking, Darky still leads, and again he sets the fastest lap. Jack luckily remembers to pit, thank goodness. So he comes through into the pit lane for his final stop. And with how much the gaps they've got, I think not much is going to change. Dash. Through goes Dash on Dan. So Dash gets through on Dan, up into 8th place. Jake's going to have a nice battle with Scottish Goat, actually, so we will keep an eye on them. There's quite a lot of battles happening in the back at the moment, which is really great to see. Sometimes the battling in the midfield is honestly a bit more fun to watch at times. And fair play for a lot of the drivers for keeping it on the island. Have we got a few standing water at the start finish straight, and people just got to try and adapt to the different lives they've got to take in the wet, because it is different. As the gaps are now increased once again. The next target for Jack Craig is to get past Chris. Chris, I think, is doing a great job, but I could see that Jack is a lot quicker, and I mean a lot quicker than Chris at the moment. Darky is in for his final stop. His one and only stop. Jack almost got him there. I think you can save so much more battery in the wet compared to the dry, which is very interesting indeed. So we'll watch those two battle as the race goes on. Dash is in this fight as well. The gap now, 33... That is a big gap. I think, no, never mind. I thought it was like, I would have gone crazy if it was 13 seconds, but no, it's 16.6. So, we have got 4 more laps to go. Anything could happen in Dive Bomb, and it usually does. And we've got battle for second place. The battle for P1, that's over. But I can almost safely say, I don't think Darky will be in this league after tonight, but we'll see. Of course, he was quite close to a lot of drivers in race 1, but I don't know. But it's up to it's not up to me, it's up to Jack. Jack Craig, the league owner. But I'm loving this fight for the podium spots. Jordan is definitely in a Haas sandwich right now, and I don't think he would want to be in a Haas sandwich for a long time. So we're going to watch him as... I'm trying to figure a different way of saying it about going into the next door. Oh, they make a bit of contact. Oh, no. They almost lost a bit of time once more, but I think they're going to be okay. Yeah, they should be fine as they make their way through. And by the way, just a reminder, if you are liking what you're seeing, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We stream every Wednesday night at 7:05. Of course, we will go on air slightly earlier to go through the standings and spin the wheel for race 1. And then after race 1, I'll have a bit of a break and then spin the wheel for race 2. So Jordan is keeping Abu behind. I think with Jack's fresh tyres, unless Jordan can find a bit more pace, it's going to be difficult for him. It is also harder to control the tyre temps. The rears would want to slide at every opportunity. And I want to see actually who's getting the most places. But whilst I do that, Jordan's found, I think, you can see Jordan, I think, is running a low downforce setup, it seems, because Jordan's gained so much more pace on the straight. Just watch him. Just watch Jordan. Through he goes. Is he going to get past it towards turn 11? No. He doesn't get past it towards turn 11. 31-2 for Darky. Darky is making sure his laps are consistent. Darky's making his way through in towards turn 5 and 6 now. Berger's picking up another warning. Chris Johnson now picking up a 3 second. Now that's going to hinder him more than anything. So he's got Cam Bulls chasing him down for P13. Kaya, by the way, is going to get some points. As long as he can keep Tony behind him. But we will see. They are fighting against each other in the final race as well. Which I really loved, actually. It was so much fun to watch. Dash getting another penalty as well. Let's get the penalties, actually. Penalties. Those are your penalties. So, just in case you've got people jeffing, you're welcome. There you go. So, we do have a few more laps to go. And who has been your driver of the night, really? I think driver of the Bahrain race has got to be Abu. It's definitely got to be Abu for my driver of Bahrain, as Dash does get past Jack, despite the penalty. So Jack at the moment will stay in 7th, despite Dash's 9-second penalty, because Dash has just got to find quite a bit of time there. Positions gained. Dan's gained the most, up 8. Dash up 7. Jake up 5. Biggest loser, Kaya, down 6. So that is your position gained at this moment in time. On lap 14 now, the penultimate lap of this race. People are praying that the final spot of the podium could be theirs. Who's going to get second place? Is it going to be Jack? Is it going to be Jordan? Is it going to be Abu? As it stands, Abu is leading the championship. But Darky will lead the championship if he wins this race. As Jordan runs a bit wide. Now Jordan has lost a chance to get onto the podium now. Well, look, let me get the, hold on. What the hell? Let me get telemetry up so I could see how much battery people are using. And I'll probably give you a bit of an idea as well. Bloody hell, Darky. 20 seconds. To be fair, if I was racing in this race, I would be near the back in the rain. I'm absolutely terrible in the wet conditions. I'm just, yeah. I run like 103 AI. Yeah, I run 103 AI. And there's time where they almost lap me in the rain. Yeah. As Fergus is out of the race. Fergus is out of the race then. So we're now down to 15 runners. And we're now on the final lap of this race. The gap's now increased to 21.6 seconds. I think the battle for second place could be down between the two Hasses now, unless Jordan could find a bit of extra pace. Abu got the better exit. But he's got the much worn tyres. Oh! Damage! 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 Front left. 46%. This is going to allow Jordan to come back at this. Switch back for Jordan. But he's lost a bit of traction in towards turn 5. He could maybe play it safe. That could help him on the straights, actually, with the front left getting a bit of damage. So you'll see. We've also got another yellow flag. Don't know what that is. That yellow flag's gone now, as far as I'm aware. But we'll watch Darky dominated from start to finish as Jack Craig's retired. Don't know where, but he must have got damaged somewhere. Darky, though, comes across the line. He wins. And he takes the lead of the championship. Jack thought he could get past Abu with 46% damage. But Abu's just holding on in the wet conditions. It's just so hard to overtake. Looks like Haas will take the lead in the constructors. Abu will get second. And Jack will get third. Jordan fourth. Deck fifth. Decent result in the wet for him. Chris, I would say strong performance from him in sixth. And then we got Dash in at P7. And then we got the battle for for 8th, sorry. But I think it looks like Dan is going to take that one. Does someone run out of fuel? I hope not. I think, did Dan run out of fuel there? I think he did, because Jake's got past Dan. I think Dan just ran out of fuel on the line. Dan could confirm it in the Discord chat. But yeah, I think Dan ran out of fuel on the line. That is very, very unfortunate for Dan there. But your race winner, Darky, with 2 asses on the podium. Brilliant stuff. And now suddenly it's stopped raining. And no one's wearing coats. What are you on about? And now it's raining again. The game can't make up its mind. But we'll go through your results. Darky wins from Abu, Jacko, Jordan, Deck, Chris, Dash, Jake, Dan. I'm almost certain Dan ran out of fuel on the last bit. I'm almost certain of it, but I'll double check. Scottish Go 10th, Kai at 11th. Quite a few people, I think, ran out of fuel on the last lap, actually. We got Chris Johnson, Tony, Cam, Jack, Fergus, and James. Obviously, Fergus and James have retired. So, I will scroll up and through the results. So hopefully they get a decent view of them. But this has been a good opening couple of rounds. Hopefully the drivers know now what to do in the next few rounds in order to improve. Hopefully there'll be no early readies up this time. I think Jack has told everyone there's going to be, I think, consequences in the future for people that do ready up early. But thank you so much for watching. I've been your commentator, Jess Ball, and I'm excited to commentate for the rest of the season. If you haven't already, give this channel a subscribe. Like I was saying earlier, we're almost on 200. No, not 200. What are you on about? Almost on 100 subscribers, so make sure you give us a subscribe. Hit the like button and turn notifications on so you know when to check out our stream. You can also follow us on our socials as well on X. So, the Knights have belonged to Abu in race 1, Darky in race 2. The next round, let me get the calendar actually. The next round, we head to Emilia-Romagna in Imola and the Spanish Grand Prix, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. It's going to be some amazing tracks. Thank you for having me. We will see you next week for Imola and Barcelona. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.